What a view, man. Don't interrupt my view. Let me enjoy the moment. Okay, what's up, by the way? It's me. That guy from YouTube. You might have heard of me. But guys, don't let the beautiful view fool you. It's gonna get pretty bad soon. That guy might have something to do with the bad view, but I'm not really sure at the moment. So, here's the situation. Last week when I was doing work in the forest, I had such fun. Such fun. I mean, practically all the machines came out to play, right? So, the old Pleo, the Bobcat, the new Pleo, Joseph as well. I think that's about it. But obviously the star of the show was Joseph, right? The guy getting almost stuck in the swamp. That was something else. I'm really glad that didn't happen. But now I've been kind of thinking for half a day what to do next right now. And I basically had like two options. Either I'm gonna go back to the forest and start the cleanup process like I mentioned, or I can deal with this mess. You're over there. So the situation here is literally foobar, as you can see. It's quite messed up, and I've been kind of looking, I've been kind of wanting to clean this up for a while now, but I haven't done so because you know, I always thought that I'm gonna need Joseph for this part. Plus the Joseph was on vacation for like half a year, so I couldn't really use the guy. I wanted to go to retirement home. I refused. But he's back now. And technically I could come here with a chainsaw and then just start hacking away, but bro, that is just so bad. The work is just hopeless because, you know, we do have a stream right over there. I mean, you can see it right now because it's hiding under the ice somewhere. But the stream is like 4 meters wide, so most of the mass, is just in the stream at the moment. So that would complicate things by far. I love this bridge. But yeah, that would definitely complicate the cleanup process. And my plan was pretty simple. I'm just gonna pull the bigger chunks out of this area with Joseph and then chop them up in an open area like I did with the spruce tree and the other tree. Because the tree is in a bad location, it would make a lot more sense to pull it into a better location if you have the torque, right? Kind of makes perfect sense. Never mind. Balance 5 million. I think I should pass the drunk test. But and this guy actually fell down during the summertime, I think in August or something like that. And while this thing fell down, I was actually working on the... Well, then it was firewood shed, then it was not. And now it's the woodworking workshop shed. So I was working on that, and I was maybe like 15 meters away from another tree which fell down, and I managed to catch that on the video as well. So I'm gonna put that video down in the description also if you want to watch that thing fall. But no, we already cleaned that nicely up, but this guy remained, and it's been here for like half a year now. And I think right now this is a bit better option to do rather than going to the forest. Well, technically I think I have a better chance of starting Joseph than I have at starting the Yanmar mini excavator. Because in about 3 days we're gonna get our record cold, which will be at -31. And hopefully we can complete all the work before that happens. I don't really want to start even Joseph with those temperatures. Something might just break in half, like the frame. But now let's quickly talk about the plan of attack. Short story, I don't really have one. There are really no good options. At first I thought I'm gonna maybe pull the guy. I mean pull everything that way. But that's gonna generate like a lot of collateral damage, I think. And first of all, I got a bunch of young trees hiding and stuff like this, hiding under that giant log over there. So if I pull this guy down, it's gonna drop down and just swipe all these trees into oblivion. That's not a very good option, I think. I mean, I could try and pull it from the other end. Then this part will move like that over the stream. Maybe that's a better option. I'm not really sure. Technically though, I think the best option I have is to pull it that way, over there. So it would drop down and then just kind of pull it that way. Then we'll probably mess up maybe like 3 trees instead of all of them. I mean, something is gonna get squashed 100%. I can't save all of them, sadly. I mean, I would need like a helicopter in order to lift this guy out of here, or a crane. And like I said, I don't really have like a very good plan of attack at the moment. I mean, the big excavator would probably help here, but I don't think that thing is gonna fire up at the moment. I don't even want to try, honestly. That's just not worth it. I think I will pull this entire part out going that way. It's just gonna rub against the stump, so that's not a big deal. But we're gonna destroy something here, and maybe that the same way, just that way, and then take it from there, because obviously removing these two is not gonna fix the mess. So I think let's just gonna start off from somewhere. Let's try to pull this guy first and see how things go. Now if I can, then I'm just gonna walk straight to the spaceport with the tree, with Joseph. I mean with Joseph and the tree in tow. Would be an amazing option, right? But dude, that popsicle won't move anywhere. Everything's solid. And this Joseph has a pretty decent pony motor, which helps with the starting a lot. Oh man. I think the rollers and everything is just seized right now. Courtesy of that stupid pit. Sucky situation. I think we should put the heater on the thing actually. Yeah. I'm gonna let that guy meditate for a bit. Now let's go set up the dough line. We'll hop on board. couple of meters we've driven. Such pretty weather. Look over there. Are you guys like falling down so much? Time to go home finally. Oh my goodness, this chain is so heavy. I wonder how many Josephs you would need to break this chain. I think that's like 25mm chain, I think. I'm sure someone can calculate that. This little strap is rated for 5 tons. In a way, we're planning to use it, and that's the safety margin. Probably will break at 20 or something like that. That looks kind of weird. Looks like iceberg in there. Something moved. Seems fine now. Man, is Joseph gonna stall midway somewhere? That is not good. fired up so fast. What? Last time it took me 18 minutes to crank the engine over. First attempt this time. Wow. I don't think that guy helped so much. I mean, it did warm up the pony, so that fired up pretty fast, but the main engine on this guy is so huge. It will take like an entire day to warm it up with that thing. No wonder they use these dozers in the Arctic, bro. I mean, we can only hope that the fuel doesn't like stop at some point. That seemed like really... Well, it was frozen, right? It didn't move. But maybe it was only on the top surface. Not sure. Currently it's not really a lot more colder than it was last time I moved Joseph, so I'm not really worried about it right now. The worst thing that can happen is that we just stall in the middle of the stream. That's the worst thing that can happen. Or in the middle of the road somewhere. That's also not good. Hold that, will you? something exploded. Oh, it was that Chaco, which was bent. Dude, it finally went. Where did it go? Whatever. No. Oksaat raisk, minge perse. Very good. What happened? Joseph is so cool. Am I right to start the show? What happened here? oil throw. Both the cans are empty. I think we should fill them up before we go to the second one. Gun. Oh, John Deere old oil, excellent for Joseph. About 25 to 30 liters of oil missing. What's up with that? That seems kind of a lot. Visibly, I can't see hydraulic oil leaking like in excessive amount. It's only like a little bit from here, a little bit from there, not in nature. So that's kind of weird. Let's go try to grab the other one as well. Dude, this came so easily. It was a bit frozen to the ground at first, but the third gear yanking worked out again. Very well, I might add. So let's go bring the second one as well. Hopefully that will come as well. And we'll park it here, then we can chop everything up right over here. Much better than in the middle of the creek somewhere, right? So much better. OSHA, look away. The imagery over there is much better than what you're about to see. I think this guy is part of the tree now. Maybe it will come off somewhere. What do you think, guys? This should be pretty fun. I think Joseph is gonna struggle a bit. Holy moly, bro, just imagine the power required to move that. But no need to imagine, the power is right over there, my man. Wow. guy's gonna push my apartment buildings apart. Look at that. Holy shit. Not good. Wood is eager to go inside the box, right? Man. What a mess. Actually, I think we'll leave it here right now. Whoopsie daisy. I just love creating work for myself, right? By the way, this was not part of the plan. Actually, I wanted to park Joseph, but stupid me forgot to unhook the line. Almost had domino effect going on over here as well. Luckily they didn't flip over. Getting lame. Should have unhooked the line. Sometimes I just forget, like I need to do something in about 5 seconds and then I talk to the camera and then I completely forget what I need to do. It's just so annoying. The mind is broken. It needs a software upgrade. Maybe I should install Windows 11 on it. I heard that's the best. But anyway, let's go assess the damage over there. What happened, man? Why are you so naked? What happened to the bark, bro? Oh, maybe this piece was in water. Maybe that has something to do with that. Dude, that's pretty cool, actually. Huh. Never seen that happen before. I messed up the bark there a bit. But maybe that's fine. Hopefully. What about here? Did my little trees survive? Oh, there's one. There's another one. Yeah, I think these little dirts are actually okay. They're so tiny that Joseph is just gonna squash them a bit. Nothing much. Okay, these two did get a bit wrecked. I think one is missing actually. Yeah, that guy probably came with us. That's not funny. Yeah. Oh, new life. I'm actually pretty impressed how these things tend to survive such violence. This guy was completely pressed down when the tree went over it. And it seems pretty okay. Bit of scratches. This one has a broken dip. Maybe that will survive as well. Wow, actually, very minimal damage. Kind of impressed. And nothing's broken here. Look at that. Everything is a bit squashed, but they're still standing. Look at that. Already looks 10 times better. Well, not really, but we'll tend to it. Don't worry. Should be okay. Oh, wait a minute. Dude. Posts. Yeah, this is the property line, man. That's not my tree. And neither are those. Okay. I completely forgot about that part. Yeah, this is the property line. I'm not sure exactly where. I'm pretty sure that's not the thing. It should be a separate thing. But that means I can't clean anything up there. Yeah, that's not my property. Including over the stream there. Actually, I wanted to pull that guy out of there as well. Maybe we'll later. I mean, that seems like a pretty decent chunk. And the thing with this tree is that the stump or the tree where the spot where it has grown, it's on my neighbor's property, but the tree has fallen over to my property. So that side there is my property. So technically it's mine, right? I don't know the fine details, but technically that's fine, bro. I mean mine. Fine as well. Such a fine ass. But these guys, sadly, not on my property, plus they're falling to the other side. I'm not gonna touch these, yeah. No, sir. Yeah, I think we can actually clean this area up by hand to a degree. Let's not go over the property line. And then we'll see later what we'll do with the last tree. I have yet to decide about that. There was this one time when a tree fell on my property side and I called the guy up, told him if it's okay to remove it. He said fine, no problem. So I'm assuming it's the same situation right now. Maybe I don't even need to call the guy up. Or maybe I'm gonna get sued later, I don't know. Anyway, let's focus on what we can control right now. And I think we should go clean up that area first and then revisit this area. One thing's for sure, this was a huge ass tree. Look at the size of this, just compare my hand to it. Oh, I need to go closer. Dude, this thing is like a meter wide from the bottom. It's been here for a while. Really glad I actually got it out. Good boy, Joseph. I mean, this actually took me not a lot of time. But the first tree took me 18 minutes in order to drive from there to here, hook it up, drive it there, dump it. 18 minutes, guys. And the second tree was even faster, I think like 10 minutes. That was actually very fast, right? I mean, just imagine if I needed to use something else, like, I don't know, chop the tree up into pieces, haul Yanmar here or Bobcat, and one by one load them onto the log trailer, which is hauled by the piece of crap Lemon over there. Lemondo. But yeah, this guy doesn't even want to run a normal fuel while Joseph has to sip on a block of ice inside the fuel tank. The guy's like, diesel. But actually, guys, maybe the hydraulic fluid being low is not actually a problem. Maybe some genius engineer hooked up the hydraulic tank to the fuel supply system and the guy just sipped on that instead. Wasn't me, but seems plausible. But jokes aside, this guy actually runs pretty good right now. Even the right steering clutch, and once the thing warms up a bit, works like a charm. And you know, the main clutch, I just keep the pedal locked down. It has like this little latch on the pedal that you can leave the pedal in a lockdown position, so there's no pressure on the friction discs inside the clutch housing. So that seems to be working pretty okay, I guess. I haven't had any issues with the clutch sticking on this until after I started doing that. So hopefully that will keep working nicely. And yeah, the pony motor even works pretty good. As you saw, it fires up almost immediately. I'm kinda surprised. I probably shouldn't touch anything on that thing until it doesn't work anymore. Just make sure there is oil in the engine and that's about it. Such a guy. Actually made a huge work into an enjoyable 30 minutes. Right? Well, actually the paint will begin in about 5 minutes. But first, let's fix that. Now, I don't mind the restacking, but dude, it kind of messed up the gauge. Sort of bent. That was not part of the plan. I blame Joseph. What a naughty boy. Maybe I should try to fix that. What are you on? High? Fast time for that. That actually worked better than I expected. Yep. Probably should try to remember there's pressure on the branch. Fancy that. And somehow we ended up with more firewood than we started off with. Maybe we should flip more boxes over. Maybe this is closely related to the free energy scam. Okay, that takes care of that unnecessary bit. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow, bro. I can't feel anything. Man, I wanna go outside. It's much better in here. Nope. You know, for at least a couple of days, it's gonna remain like this. Record cold. Apparently it was about -31 in the middle of the night. Skies are super clear. Actually, it's really nice outside, but it's very cold. Now, if you guys think that the 30 degrees is a bit much, then yes, obviously. But you know, the stupid V10 fire stove, And this guy heats up the blaze pretty fast, but it doesn't really like keep the building warm. And the next day I come here, I have to start from scratch again. For example, yesterday I didn't heat the building, and when I came here this morning, it was this. But you know, after about, I don't know, couple of hours of this guy firing, it's already at 30 plus degrees, bro. It just kind of overheats the building, but it doesn't keep the building warm. That's the issue with this guy. We need something that will retain the heat and just kind of keep heating the building for at least, I don't know, 12 hours or something like that. A masonry fireplace would work pretty good. But no, they are very expensive, and yeah, about 6 or 7 grand expensive if you're curious. So in the meantime, that will work. I'm gonna put on multiple layers this time. Maybe we'll get to do some work outside. Hopefully we don't have to undo any fine nuts or bolts. That would kind of suck. Dude, I can't believe my zip tie winter jacket is still hanging in there. And this is the best fix ever since we fixed Joseph. Oh. Let's get to work. I need boots as well. I'm actually kind of curious what the temperature is inside the workshop. I haven't fired up any heater in this place for at least a week, I think, even more maybe. Look at that, just -5. And this guy is showing 0. Someone's incorrect. Oh, you can actually feel it's a lot warmer here than outside. And this workshop is actually insulated pretty well. The last year we added that ceiling insulation as well on the other side. I think the ceiling has maybe like 35 up to 40 millimeters of mineral wool. So it's like a nice little cozy workshop, I guess. Quite warm. Oh, I need the chainsaw. Stupid ass. I'm gonna keep the beard on as well, just for now. It's kinda annoying, but maybe it will help. Maybe the chin won't fall off then. Probably shouldn't touch that guy with these temperatures, right? Like, something tells me that we're not quite finished with this guy for the current mission. I think the last 3 that we need to still pull out will require this guy, but I'm not really sure at the moment. Guess we'll see later. Let's deal with one thing at a time. It started pretty good. It was in the workshop, so. Look at that. What the? That's pretty cool, bro. Should have installed the gearless fuel tank on this thing. You mean? Look at that. I need a bigger chainsaw. Yo! What's up, my man? Guys, check out my Eho collection. I am so proud of those boys. I think my favorite is still in the middle though. Seems like a perfect balance, you know, right in the middle somewhere. I mean, it's in the middle right now, so it's already balanced. But I do have a strange feeling that we're gonna have another one of those competitions soon on the Kirvet splitter. Or was that the Olympic sport? Can't remember. So, whatever. 2 candidates right over there. What shall we name them? I'm thinking Bob and Dad. Bob and Dad. Which one will defeat the Kirvet splitter? Technically, we have a third candidate as well. No, not that one. This one. It's one of those Two-Face guys. Excellent name, by the way. Yeah, Two-Face guy. And maybe we should also invite the host back, you know. You guys really like that guy. I'm not really sure where he's at the moment, though. He could be on the moon, as far as we know. By the way, guys, I wanted to do like a little experiment. Can we start the Bobcat without the glow blocks and using only the river heater instead? And that guy has been going for maybe an hour and a half so far, so that's it. No glow blocks, guys, I promise. And if I could move my pinky finger to the right position, then I would say pinky swear. Just the starter and the lever. Look at that. Oh. Pretty soft. Who even needs glow blocks, bro? Just go get one of those. Seems to work. Yeah, just all of a sudden noticed that I was literally running on fumes. And actually, guys, a lot of people have told me that I should buy like a, I don't know, gas station or something like that. Dude, I don't need it. Yeah, I don't run like a commercial business where I use these machines, everything I have, on daily basis. Now, some of the machines don't move for like a month, for example. On average, I only use about 100 liters of diesel per month, and sometimes not even that. I think it's just not worth it, but maybe in the future. Nothing's going through that mesh. It's just a nice color for a diesel. Yes, guys, this is winter diesel. At least the fine blonde at the counter told me it's winter. After I drop the final load off, I need to put the Bobcat into the workshop actually. Just there's a lot of snow gets down there with the boots, and eventually everything just kind of turns into a solid block of ice. And then you can't move the pedals anymore. Okay, hopefully that will fix the problem. Ooh, what is this crap? Check it out, guys, it's so cold that the CO2 meter is glitching out. What is that, like 99999? Wow, that's pretty crazy. Ah, the temperature is still 0. Yeah, definitely glitching out. Clearly not the case. Can't believe that little gadget costs 60 euros, while the demo clock on the wall still keeps going. But anyway, surprisingly, quite a few nice pieces actually. I was not expecting that. I think I got like 6 or 7 nice sawmill logs. I think if we pull the final 3 as well, then we're gonna get at least a couple of more. That one seemed pretty straight overall. Actually, this is good, you know. And for the big workshop build, I need beam material, which is back here. So that's, I already have that. Then I need post material, which I just cut. I need a little bit more post material, then I think we have enough. And everything else, the spruces, those are just simple 2x4s, 2x6s, stuff like that. So it's not really important if I get those or not. I guess I can go and buy them if I don't. But it's still good that I have them, I guess. By the way, guys, I couldn't unfreeze the pedals inside the workshop. I mean, the machine stayed there for a couple of days, but nothing unfroze. Just wanted to give a couple of more points for the Weber heater. This thing should definitely do the trick. Look at that. Yeah, that thing is so useful. Especially like that I can direct the hot airflow into a specific spot with the hose. I wish they made something bigger though. I mean, that thing is only 8 kilowatts, but like 20 would be pretty good for me, I think. But sadly, they don't really make anything bigger which is set up like that. There are these bigger diesel heaters as well, but I'm not sure if you can like hook piping up to it. Plus, I did kind of check, and they're very expensive actually, like 400 euros for a 20 kilowatt heater. So that thing wasn't even 100 bucks. But anyway, got another nice day, and I'm gonna try to clean up as much as possible from this area. This is mainly just handwork now. And sadly, I can't really go on the stream itself. I did try it, I think like yesterday, and it just seems... Look at that. Everything is cracking. Look at that. Mean. Yeah, definitely gonna follow that. Minus 28 degrees, guys. And this hell is not frozen over. Unbelievable. I guess it takes a lot more to freeze moving water, right? A lot more. I mean, even minus 28 is not enough. I think that's about it actually. And the property line is actually right over there. But this metal post in the ground, that usually means there's a turn in the property line. It's not a straight line anymore, it turns. So from somewhere over there it comes a straight line up to this point, and then it turns to another post which is somewhere over there, and then it goes that way. So sadly I can't clean up anything here. This is all my neighbor's stuff. Looks ugly as hell, but I can't really do anything about it. I think we should go over to the other side of the pond and see if we can get the bigger tree out as well. Well, that seems safe. Plus, look at that. Dude, I can't understand anything. What the crap is going on over here? You know, I had no idea even that alder was here. I couldn't see it. But looks like this guy took quite the hit. First from that and then from the alder, but he's still standing. Such a guy. I think Joseph is gonna fix everything here. We just need to put in the gear and move forward. I think we should clean up the entire area actually, but before we bring Joseph into the mix, we should do the cleanup part first and then try to get the logs out later. There's just too much carnage in the way. You need to sort out the area before we can invite the big guy. Oh yeah! Finally I can use the thing. 10 minutes of digging around with that thing, and it already looks like 11 times better. Yeah. I think it's Joseph's turn now. Pull that guy, and everything else is pretty straightforward. Currently, I'm not sure, maybe we'll remove this guy as well. It's extremely leany, but if it's not gonna bother me, then I'm not gonna touch it right now. Usually that type of tree is very stormproof, and it doesn't really bother me if it's like here. But we'll see about that later. Let's go wake up big guy. In its defense though, we did have those couple of days, minus 28, 31, so I'm not really surprised. I was not expecting this to break. Holy shit. I'm gonna go to the other side and cut the end off. No point breaking stuff. calls for Daisy Daisy. Why do you guys get hit with everything? I don't get that. Bunch of crap. You wanna fall over maybe? Kauan mä siin tampin kuradi lohreid. Kuidas see puu seisab, ma ei saa aru. Ei olegi midagi, mis hoiab seda ju õhus. Tere, ma veel lõikan, tal kukub kuhugi külje peale lihtsalt minema, tšau bakaan. Look at that, like 20 millimeters, holding the thing up, refuse to fall. But anyway, guys, mission successful, I would say. I think it overall went pretty good. Let me see, it looks a lot nicer now. And didn't we drove over this like a couple of days ago? Woo! Stupid winter. Wonder if we can pass. Very good. But I'm glad we actually got rid of this tree. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I never imagined I'm gonna do it in the middle of the winter. Because dude, this tree fell down in the middle of the summer. In my defense though, Joseph was kinda disabled. So we're gonna use that guy. Now, it was very handy during this entire mission, no doubt there. I guess we did a bit more though than we originally planned out. I only wanted to remove that tree, but ended up coming on this side as well. I think it was worth it though. It made the video a bit longer, but I hope that's fine. I mean, for example, on my property, as you can see, well, basically what we had here like 10 years ago, everything looked like that over there as well. But I have kind of cleaned up absolutely everything, and it kind of looks nice, right? You can actually go between the trees. You don't get hit in the face with something like that. There's something like this, bro. You can't even walk through it, right? It's just a huge mess. Now, eventually I want to clean everything up to that level what I have over there. That means also this area. So I think I'm gonna leave the energy vial right here at the moment. Maybe we're gonna build it up even more as we continue with the cleanup process, because you know, on this entire bank there is a lot of material that needs to be cleaned up. I mean, maybe let's go take a quick look, see how messed up that situation is. Now, it's part of the abandoned property things which is shared between me and the other guy. So I don't have like full ownership, but law tells us that I can totally clean this up and I don't even have to notify the other guy. So I think we can do it, and I think we should do it, because we're gonna get a lot of energy wood out of this project. There's a lot of dead stuff all around the place. Plus, if we clean everything up, dude, this area is gonna look absolute cake. I mean, I really like the steep bank that goes downhill. Look at that. That's like a 5 or 6 meter drop right over there. There's so much carnage all over the place. And this is not even tip of the iceberg. I mean, let's keep going. That guy is really huge. Wonder when he's gonna fall over. Look at this guy. Dude, my Echo Super Saw won't even go through that. Bro, I think that's like 1.2 meters wide at the base. This is a lot of wood there. Probably mostly is rot though. Bunch of mushrooms growing everywhere. Usually that's not good. Basically it's a dead tree standing at this point, but it's still there. There's a lot of crap over here as well. I should actually remove these. Maybe we could get some useful material out of them before they go bad. Looks like a giant tree has fallen over there. Actually, multiple of them. Look at this freaking mess, bro. I mean, Joseph, right? That's the only guy capable of cleaning this up. I mean, look at that. It's so bad. There's so much stuff here that should be removed. So much work. This type of work never ends. It's like you finish something and then go on a little trip and discover more work. What the crap is that? Dude, look at this thing. Looks like a gate. This is actually pretty cool. This tree is actually still alive. Notice those bigger branches on top. They're actually like trees now. Trees growing on a dead trunk, basically. That actually looks pretty cool. Oh look, another one here. Same situation. Long ago, this tree fell down, but that branch, that was not part of the tree when the tree fell down. That actually grew out of the tree. And look at it now. It's like a separate tree on its own. Zombie tree. But dude, look at the amount of work here that needs to be done. And considering the slope, you can come here with the bobcat. The only option is the dozer. It's just gonna pull everything uphill, right? Or maybe if you had like a really long excavator, I mean a extra long boom attached to it, then you can kind of grab stuff from the top of the hill. It will work as well. But yeah, no point. There's no point me buying that thing. Joseph, my Lord and Savior. I'm in no rush though with this, because like I explained the situation with this property. But you know, maybe one day we'll clean that up as well. Looks like we got a truck there. That wasn't there last year. Yeah, ATV there as well. And the truck looks like absolute garbage, but the bed on it looks pretty good. I just buy a truck like that and then just delete the truck part and use the bed to make a dump bed for one of the Girovitzes. I think that would be a pretty cool idea. Actually guys, a lot of you have told me that I need to get like a dump truck, but I don't want one, honestly. I would rather put one of the Girovitzes to work hauling a dump bed around rather than buying like a dump truck, because you know, considering my muddy conditions, then that dump truck will get stuck absolutely everywhere. The Girovitz is better suited for muddy conditions, much better. But you know, I don't really consider that like a priority right now, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy anything anytime soon. Rather just kind of focus on the stuff that I need to do right now. I don't want to buy like an entire yard of equipment and you know, instead of working on already what you have, buy new stuff. That kind of makes no sense, I think. I'd rather just kind of work on the stuff I already have, you know. I don't want to end up being the guy who owns like an entire yard of broken down stuff. I want everything that I have to work and have a purpose and do a thing. So I don't want to end up like that. Yeah. Hopefully you understand what I mean. But you know, it looks like the roof fix that we did on this little shed last year has paid off, because there's no more holes in the roof. At least the rain can't get inside the building anymore, and this will preserve the building until we can figure out what we'll do with it. But I think that guy is sadly a lost cause. I don't think it's worth trying to restore that. I'm probably gonna bulldoze it down one day. Man, winter makes everything look nice. Am I correct? Even the abandoned dump yard looks pretty good right now. Yeah, all the crap is just hiding under the snow. We need more snow. But yeah, even the mud yard, I mean spaceport, looks pretty good right now. Man, wish this winter stayed forever. Whew. Can't believe I just said that. But anyway guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up now. At least the mission goal was achieved, I guess, with a bit of side action as well. So, as always, thanks for joining in, and I will see you in the next one. Yeah. Bye bye. Also that baby part.